Welcome friends. Today we'll start a new unit that will be regarding the bending of rectangular thin plates. In this unit we'll see uh, laterally loaded plates with a small deflection theory. Then we'll see governing differential equation for thin rectangular plates. After that we'll discuss cylindrical bending of thin rectangular plates. Then we'll see the Navier solution of rectangular plate subjected to single sinusoidal load and UDL. So this is the content for this unit. Now in this video we'll start with the introduction of the chapter and we'll see the assumptions. Flat plates are extensively used in many engineering applications like roof and floor of building, deck slab of bridges, foundation of footing, water tank, bulkheads, turbine discs, etc. Plate used in applications are normally subjected to lateral loads causing bending of the plate. The geometry of plate normally defined by a middle plane which is plane equidistant from top and faces bottom faces of plate. The thickness of plate H, the thickness of plate is denoted by H, is uh, measured in the direction normal to the middle plane. So this if suppose this is plate thickness, so it is measured in this direction. The flexural property of plates are largely depend upon the thickness of plate, thickness of plate rather than its two dimension, that is length and width. Plate is subjected to moment and forces. Transverse shear forces acts perpendicular to the plane of plate, whereas is perpendicular. If this is plate, they will act in this direction, whereas the shear forces act in the plane of plate. Okay. In general, plate problems can be classified into three major categories, that are thin plate, moderately thick plate, and thick plates. So these are the three categories upon which the plates are classified depending upon thickness of plate. Okay. If the thickness of plate is very small as compared to the other two dimensions, then such a plate can be called as thin plate. Okay, so it can be called as thin plate. A plate can be considered as a thin if ratio of thickness to the lesser of other two dimension is less than 0.05. Means ratio of thickness to lesser than other two dimension. Okay, so this ratio, if this ratio is less than 0.05, then we'll call that plate as a thin plate. The simplest and most widely used plate theory is classical small deflection theory of isotropic and anisotropic plates. Okay, so we'll see the small deflection theory now. The small deflection theory is also called as Kirchhoff's thin plate theory, bending theory, or it is also called as classical plate theory. Okay, the classical plate theory is based on low Kirchhoff's hypothesis, which makes assumptions similar to those made by Bernoulli-Navier hypothesis used to theory of thin or shallow beams. Okay, so we'll see what is that. If the deflection is not small, then bending of the plate is accompanied by in-plane stresses. The nature and magnitude of these in-plane stresses depend not only on magnitude of deflection but also type of support provided at the edges of plate. So this is the criteria. Now we'll see what are the assumptions of this small deflection theory. The first assumption is that straight line initially normal to the middle surface to the plate remains straight and normal to the deformed middle surface of plate and unchanged in the length. This assumption corresponds to the Bernoulli-Meillier hypothesis for deflection of beam. The second assumption is that displacement W is assumed to be very small. This means the slope of deflected surface is small, and hence square of slope would be negligible in comparison with unity. Third assumption is that the normal stresses sigma x and sigma y in plane shear stress tau xy are assumed to be zero at middle surface of the plate. Then fourth assumption is the stress sigma x, that is transverse normal stress, is small as compared to other stress component and may be neglected in stress strain relationship. And the last one is the mid plane remains unstrained after bending. So these are the assumptions of Kirchhoff's small deflection theory. So we'll see what are the uses of these assumptions. The above assumptions means the assumptions which are discussed right now few seconds earlier, the known as Kirchhoff's assumptions. So they reduce the three-dimensional plate problem to two-dimensional. Hence, in Cartesian coordinate system, only normal stresses, that is sigma x and sigma y, and shear stress tau xy would exist in plane, and these stresses are function of two coordinates, that is x and y. Okay.